Now, here is what you need to know. 3 things. Number 1, the hope of his calling. Not your calling. Thank God for your calling. We value your calling. But when God wants us to pray for you as a believer, he doesn't want us to focus on you. That's what's wrong with today's Christianity. We go to church to hear about us. Encourage me, feed me, build me up. Come on, somebody, help me get through the day. So we use natural strength to get through a supernatural life. We read it in the book of Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 5. He said, if you have run with the footmen and they've wearied you, if you can handle the natural, how will you handle the horsemen? Amen. You spend your whole life with footmen when you were born to run with the horses. And he says, so I want you to know the hope of God's calling. What is God expecting from calling you? Selah. That means pause and think about it. When he saved you, what was his ROI, return on investment, in the equation of your life? What's it going to get? Just like when you put money in a CD, you were so keen to find out what the interest rate. How much did my mutual fund grow by? Because you want a return. So he says, as a believer, you must be concerned about what God is going to get for saving you. Here is a sobering question. Do you think God's getting a good return on you? Woo, I'm preaching good. And the Presbyterian church is getting quiet. Okay. Secondly, we want to know what the riches of the glory of his inheritance. Not your inheritance. Yes, we believe God wants to bless you, wants to prosper you beyond your wildest dreams. But when we are believers, we are supposed to be concerned about his inheritance. His inheritance. Thirdly, what is the exceeding greatness of his power? So we want to know the hope of his calling, the return on his inheritance, and we want to know the exceeding greatness of his power. Every Christian ought to know how powerful their God is. You ought to not show up at the doctor's office dreading what's going to come off the MRI. Because you know, regardless of what they show on the x-ray and on the machine, my God is more powerful than that. I know the exceeding greatness of his power. Every time your children leave home, you ought to not be panicking, wondering whether or not there is some pedophile out there trying to mess with them. No, you ought to know the greatness of his power, that your children got the angels of God around them. Come on, somebody. The angel of the Lord encamps around the righteous. Before anything happens to your children, the glory of God will knock that sucker out. Oh, come on, somebody.